welcome to the William Grand George Theater at Roger Williams University for tonight's production of Creature. Before we begin, I have a few announcements. First, because the year is 1401, all electronics, including cellular devices, do not exist. No flash photography and no video recording. That's considered witchcraft and will be punished accordingly. And in case of an emergency, including like sudden demonic torture of the entire audience, exits are located either out the doors you came in or through the curtain, down the stairs, and out the double doors. The show will last approximately 90 minutes and there will be no intermission. Thank you for coming and we hope you enjoy the show.
The doctor says you may not eat any beef, pork, goat's flesh, hair, which breeds incubi, honey's milk, or anything that comes from milk, peacocks, pigeons, ducks, geese, swans, cranes, coots, staffers, or fish of any kind. Eels are to be abhorred in all places at all times. Cabbage sends up black vapor to the brain, and all salads breed melancholy, except for glucose and lettuce. Onions, garlic, scallions, turnips, carrots, parsnips, and radishes are witty and bad and trouble the mind. All fruits such as pears, apples, cherries, strawberries, and nuts infect the blood and putrefy it. Also forbidden is pepper, cinnamon, honey, cloves, sugar, oil, vinegar, and salt. When I do this, do I look like a snake? Yes, miss. Miss.
Nurse!
Yes, miss.
I want to see my baby.
How is your baby?
Oh, forgive me, Father, I didn't see you there. Have you come to hear my confession?
Are you dying?
What?
You do your private penance, don't you?
There's a sin that I've been carrying in my heart since I was a child.
Wait and confess it right before you die.
Really? I thought...
Just an hour or so before you die, call for me. That way you won't have the shame of some priest knowing your secret while you're alive.
Oh, all right.
On the other hand, if you die suddenly, for example, if you fall from a ladder,
If I fall from
then
a
what will happen to your soul?
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Wait. Is it really horrible? Sometimes, if the sin is really horrible, hell will open up its mouth and swallow you immediately.
Yeah, I think I'd like to wait.
Of course. If you wait, you might want to be careful around your baby. You know, because things can happen with babies.
What things?
Babies are conspicuously fragile. Sometimes if a little baby shows up who hasn't been baptized. Do you know if he has been baptized, by the way?
I haven't seen my baby. I'm sick.
Oh, yes. The puerperal fever, where the womb gets too moist and the brain fills with water.
Stop! Stop doing that.
It's always a good day when an unbaptized baby shows up because, well, babies are so cute, aren't they? Aren't babies cute?
Yes?
They're cute. And you can make them smile or you can make them cry. For example, if you poke one with a pin, it will cry.
If you poke it with a
Yes,
pin?
if you poke it in the belly, the arm, the fingernail, or the eye, it always lets out a little squeak. Eek! Or sometimes, a shrill cry. Sometimes, my brothers and I, we all gather around, pick up one baby, blow air into the baby like a balloon, and then we play catch with it.
Oh, where is my baby?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen the little monster.
I want a real priest.
A real priest.
John!
Oh, John's out carousing again. You know, with the boys.
Nurse!
I don't think Nurse likes you anymore. Do you want to look inside my mouth?
Why?
I'm going to open my mouth very wide, and then you look in there. think you'll be quite surprised by what you see.
What the hell is that? Some kind of animal?
It's your wife! She says there's a devil in her room and he's trying to swallow her.
Jesus Christ, go find her another priest.
No one will see her.
What about Father Walter? He's known her since she was a child.
She bit him and now he won't come back.
What about Father Robert?
He says she tries to
To what?
tempt him.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he's nearly 80. What about Father Allen?
It's after midnight.
Oh, find someone. Find her another idiot priest. I don't care who the hell it is. Find someone who doesn't know her.
Everyone in Lynn knows her.
Try north.
I'm a woman. I can't travel by myself.
Don't cry, please. Don't cry.
I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding.
Did she scratch you? I'm sorry. Here's my napkin.
I don't know if I can work here anymore.
I'm sorry I shouted. Just stay here with the baby. I'll go.
I don't want to be alone with her.
Christ, I'll stay then. You run down the road to St. James. Find one of those smelly do-gooders who helps the poor.
The Grey Friars?
Yes, whoever. Just tell them I'll make a donation.
Yes, sir.
But come back though, won't you? Please, don't leave us in this darkness.
Your husband says you need to make a confession.
I wanted an old man priest. You look like a giant baby.
I'm 35.
Truly? Did you know that ever since I was a girl of 12, I've fallen passionately in love with men of 35?
Well, I don't know much about
Oh,
women.
the first was a poet. And a banker. A poet and a banker. Well, in his heart he was a poet. Would you hand me those crackers? But his parents insisted that he become a banker because banking had been in his family for generations. Banking and poetry. Isn't that a funny combination? Cracker?
Well, no, thank you.
They keep these things in the cellar, which is quite damp, you know. Food's all rotten. It's all moist and dripping with ooze. Ever since I stopped keeping house, it's all turned to muck. Have you ever eaten a rotten egg?
No.
You should try it. You should try eating a rotten egg.
How long has it been since your last confession?
What's your name?
Well, Father Thomas.
I've never heard of you.
Well, I'm new to Lynn.
My father was the mayor of Lynn 4 times.
Your husband said
Do you
that
like baked eggs?
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
me too. Baked eggs with cheese. Oh, yo.
I've come to hear your confession.
You're a baby. If I started telling you my confession, your head would blast into flames, and you'd have to run to the river to put out the fire. What happened to Father Walter? Didn't you hear? Don't you priests get together to gossip about the sinners?
No.
Liar.
Well, I don't lie. It's a sin to lie.
Oh, you're teasing me.
I'm not. We don't talk. We don't gossip about sinners.
Come closer. I want to ask you something. Closer. Do you know whether or not it's a sin to pray on your back?
Why do you ask?
Because I pray flat on my back. That's how I pray. And I was wondering if that's why I'm being punished, if that's why God is angry with me, because I pray on my back.
Well, it's not customary, certainly.
I knew it.
But God wills us to pray in whatever way is most comfortable.
And that's why I'm being punished.
Do you want me to get the nurse?
Oh, I can't stop laughing. Oh, she has a face like a lemon. Don't you think she has a face like a lemon?
I didn't notice.
Or not like a lemon, but like the face a person makes when they eat a lemon.
Mrs. Kemp.
What?
I know divine love, and I want that you should know it too.
Oh, no, please. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. When you said those words, divine. Oh, I got a peculiar feeling.
It's nearly morning. If you don't need to confess, I'd rather go
Are
home
you
to
here
my
because
bed.
someone has died?
What?
Don't hide it from me. The sins of mothers are passed to babies,
No,
and then in
your
hell, the
baby's
devil's
alive, your
like
baby's
football,
well.
they use the
Your
babies as
baby
balls.
is well. Would you like to hold your baby? Nurse! Give me your hand.
Did you need help, Father?
Yes, Mrs. Kemp would like to
No,
hold...
no, I wouldn't.
Could you bring her some water, please? How did you get this scar on your wrist?
I tried to bite out my veins
Why?
because I had no sword with which to smite off my own head. Please don't tell me that despair is a sin. I know it's a sin.
Close your eyes. I'll pray for you.
Here's water, Father.
Thank you.
Are you sure you don't need help with her?
Lemon face, lemon face.
No! Thank you. Drink some of this.
Why through all this horror has God never spoken to me?
He does not speak to all of us, but that does not mean he loves us less.
Has he spoken to you?
I have had one revelation. Well, it was not exactly a revelation, because afterwards I didn't know anything I hadn't known before.
What was it?
In a vision, I saw the whole creation, that is, what is on this side and beyond the sea, and my soul, in wonder, cried out, "This world is pregnant with God."
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let us ask him for help. Let us ask him with all the strength of our hearts. Close your eyes. I'm right here. Save her, for the waters threaten her life. Her throat is parched with calling for you. Her eyes have failed with looking for you. Thank you.
Small rain down can rain. Christ, my love, were in my arms, and I in my bed again.
What is that? Who are you? Jesus? Oh, you're wearing purple. Oh, that's my favorite color. Oh, I am? Oh, yes. Yes, I am. Oh, I am a creature. And then I said, "Who is it?" And someone said, "It's me." And he sat down on the bed next to me and, "Hello, nurse. I'm cured, and I'm telling John about the vision I had of Jesus Christ."
You are astonishing. Where did you come from?
The mouth of hell. Oh, did you miss
Oh,
me?
yes.
Oh, why don't I make us all something to eat? Some roast herring, perhaps? Or little ducklings and sweet sauce? Or thick sliced beefsteak with mounds of potatoes? I'll make your favorite fritters, John. Oh, yes. Can I have my keys to the pantry, please? John, tell Nurse to give me my keys.
Marjorie, what do you need the keys for? Just let Nurse make you some roast meat, and then you can stay here with me so I can kiss your little fingers.
I want to run my house.
Come on, little frog, come on. Oh, sit on my lap. I want to look at you. Nurse, bring her some food, please. She's famished.
Certainly, sir.
And a giant mug of beer, please.
You said evil things about me when you were possessed.
Oh, I did. What did I say?
You said I was ugly.
Oh, it's not my fault. I was being tortured by devils.
Marjorie, do you want to see the baby? He's a little man already.
Does he love the nurse more than me?
You're his mother. Do you want to hold him?
How's the brewery? Did you lose all of our money?
Half. I lost half our money.
Oh, truly.
Marjorie, I have a terrible head for business. I can't do it without you.
We have God. We don't need money. Oh, John, if only you had been in bed with me this morning and had seen his sweet face.
Well, I was not allowed on account of being ugly and a demon.
I'm going to be a saint. I'll be like Saint Bridget. People will travel from all over the world to hear about my visions.
Marjorie, don't go telling, please.
John, why did I ever choose a life of sin when life is so merry in heaven? How merry it is in heaven.
Marjorie.
How merry it is in
Marjorie,
heaven.
be calm,
How
please.
merry it is
Marjorie,
in
what the
heaven.
hell?
A hedgehog, sir! There's a hedgehog in the pantry!
We'll go back in there and chase it out.
I won't, sir. What if it's not just a hedgehog?
What the hell is it if it's not just a
A
hedgehog?
witch's servant!
Oh, good God in heaven, you women and your watery brains.
I'll chase it out.
I won't have superstitious twaddle in this house. Do you understand?
Yes, I'm so sorry, sir. It's only...
Do you think she seems all right?
I didn't know her before, sir.
Well, doesn't she look amazing, though?
There. That was the tiniest hedgehog that I've ever seen. I'm going to put it in a pie and serve it to you for supper. I'd like my keys now. John, give me my keys.
Will you sit on me again?
Yes,
My little saint, kiss me. Marjorie, please, promise me you won't go telling about your visions.
Why?
You will just say it was a dream, and it was puerperal fever,
Ah,
and
please,
now
stop
you're
talking
better. You won't
about
talk
it.
about the visions, you don't talk about the music of heaven.
God is the master of my heart.
Okay, fine, wonderful, but don't talk about it. People will ridicule you, or worse, you have to promise me.
Yes, I promise. Now can I please have my keys? Oh. Do you know what I'm going to do with these? Oh, I'm teasing you. Don't look at me like that. I'm going to open the pantry with these. And then I'm going to make us some fritters. Yum. I'll take the yolks of eggs and add flour and ale and stir it together till it be thick. And then I'll take pared apples. I'll cut them thin like wafers. I'll lay them in the batter. Fry them in the butter and I'll serve them forth. Oh, Sean. Oh, I'm saying too much.
I know.
And what if God wants me to give you up?
You tell God, I'll give you up when he does.
Oh, yes, John. Oh, yes, I'll tell him. Oh, yes, John. Here I am. I will do whatever you ask. I know that you gave St. Mary of Owens the gift of tears. If you like, I can weep for you too. Oh, I am weeping. Oh, I am weeping. I don't know what's happening to me. Who are you?
My name's Jacob.
The angel?
No, Jacob wrestled with the angel. He wasn't an angel.
Oh,
I'm just a man named Jacob. I come here in the mornings to pray before I go to work.
could you hold on to me?
Sure.
Oh, I'm having a kind of fit.
I'm holding on to you.
What is sweetest in love is her tempestuousness. To die of hunger for her is to feed and taste. Her despair is assurance. Her sorest wounding is all curing. To waste away for her sake is to be in repose. Her tender care enlarges our wounds. Her table is hunger.
So, do you live alone then?
With my mother.
I was going to come by sooner to thank you, but I've been so busy.
Yes, I've heard that you pray loudly at the Church of St. Margaret's from early morning well into evenings.
I am God's servant.
And that you tell everyone you meet about your vision of Jesus Christ in purple robes.
I'm going to become a saint. What? Do you think I'm too sinful?
Oh, no. I wouldn't say you're no more than ordinarily sinful.
Then will you help me?
Oh, well, I don't think that's the best use of our energies to try to become saints. I don't think that's what God is asking of us.
Why not?
Also, most of the saints started their vocations when they were very young.
Oh, I'm ancient?
Well, no, but they were mostly
What? What?
unmarried.
Well, not Saint Bridget.
No, but she was chaste.
Chaste?
My meaning is, you have your duties as a wife and as a mother.
What do you mean I'm ordinarily sinful? What are my ordinary sins?
Well, there's wrath right there. And vanity. You might consider dressing with a little more humility, considering how many poor people we have in Lynn.
I have nothing but love for the poor. I feed little oatcakes to the poor every day of the week in my house. No one in Lynn treats the poor better than I do. Believe me.
Well, maybe not in Lynn, but you want to be a saint. Mary of Owens gave away everything she had to the poor in order to feed them, and then begged. Catherine of Siena drank the pus of lepers. Would you do that?
Yes. Will you please teach me how to be less sinful?
You think too highly of me. You should talk to Father Walter.
Father Walter told me I was going to hell.
He told you were
Do
going
you know much about hell?
Well, I know what the scriptures tell me, and I have meditated on it before.
You've meditated on it. You've meditated on hell?
Yes.
What did you see?
Uh,
And what exactly does it mean, meditating? I mean, what is it you do?
well, first, you find a comfortable position, and then you breathe, and you concentrate on your breath. Why did Father Walter tell you you were going to hell?
God doesn't like Father Walter. He told me I should visit you.
He did?
He says hello.
Hello.
Yes, he says hello. And that you greatly please him. And that I am to tell you all the secrets of my soul.
Mrs. Kemp, I am not a teacher. I have been called to help the poor, to give comfort to those who have nothing.
I am poor. I have nothing.
You have a husband and a baby, and from what I hear, a highly profitable beer business.
I'm poor in spirit.
You had a vision from the Lord God, the kind of visitation that some people pray their entire lives to perceive. Some people pray with utter humility their entire lives to behold the vision that you, a woman with no learning and no conspicuous virtues,
I know that I'm not virtuous.
and yet you awoke one morning to a vision of Jesus Christ in purple robes?
Yes. I'm rich in his love. And I'm bringing it to you. Look at me. I'm bringing it to you.
Please stand up.
Who is poorer than I? You said it before. I'm wrathful and vain. Oh, it's true. I've no humility, no generosity, no temperance. And yet, every day, I must keep living. I must live on and on and on, drinking beer and stuffing myself full of meat. Oh, whereas you devote your life to helping the poor. And God is so proud of you. He told me that. He said that you are good and kind, and that you will continue to live in this blessed goodness for 7 more years. And then after 7 years, you will die a respected and holy man. Oh, I'm sorry. Perhaps I heard it wrong.
What else does he say to you?
He says that I should ask him for no more than love, for only love can win what it wills.
What does that mean? Only love can win what it wills.
I don't know. You're the priest.
I'll think on it.
Please help me. My friends all think I'm a liar, and I'm not allowed to go to the sermons at St. Margaret's anymore because of my weeping.
Why do you weep?
Because my heart is burning up, and I want to put out the fire by flinging myself upon all the beautiful things that God has made.
There is an anchoress called Juliana who has had visions like yours.
Is she married?
Oh, no. She lives in a little room attached to the church at Norwich. She hasn't left there in 30 years. She sits in there and thinks on God.
How does she eat?
People bring her food, her followers.
I'd like to live in a little house and have my followers bring me food. Although it depends on what kind of food. Oh, I love honey cakes.
I have a book of her revelations.
Oh, pretty.
Open it. Take it with you and read it. Or perhaps your husband.
Read
can
to me.
Me? I don't
Oh,
think that.
please.
We have too many sick people today.
I'll help you. I'll give you money. I'll make soup for the sick people. I'll press cool cloths against their burning foreheads. I'll suck the ooze out
All
of their...
right. The soup will suffice. And maybe a donation. Here. This is from her fourth revelation, one of my favorites. In our fleeting life, here on earth, our soul knoweth not what our self is. Did he tell you how I would die?
He said you would die a good man.
In our fleeting life, here on earth, I have an English Bible. We can read from that too.
An English Bible?
Don't tell anyone.
In our fleeting life here on earth, our soul knoweth not what our self is. When we clearly see what our self is, then we shall truly know God. But we may never fully know ourselves until the last point, the point at which this painful, fleeting life shall end.
Marjorie, you'll have no friends left.
Write it, John. Write. Remember, Anne, that you will never have the grace this creature has. Never!
Will you make love to me if I write it?
John, stop it. I have to make her understand.
Understand what?
That I am the one God is speaking to, not her. That I am the one God loves. Why does she insult me when I'm the one God is speaking to?
What the hell are you wearing?
I'm dressing with more humility.
If there was a man with a sword who were to smite my head off if I didn't make love to you, would you allow my head to be smit off?
John, we have succeeded in being chaste for 8 weeks. Why are you bringing this up now?
What do I write again?
Dear Anne, you will never have the grace this creature has.
Dear Anne, you will never have the grace that I, Marjorie, have.
No, start over.
That's money.
It's fine, we can afford it.
No, you are bankrupting us. That old man you hired is abandoned and a demon has gotten into the horses.
Who says that?
Everyone, you have no friends left.
Dear Anne, you will never have the grace.
Dear Anne, you will never have the grace
This creature has. For God has told me that he would be right well pleased if I never set foot in your house again.
Christ.
Christ died for your sins, John, and every time you curse, he dies again.
Marjorie, she is your last friend.
How dare she say that I'm a liar when I'm only trying to help? It is my holy duty to save my friends from sin. It is my duty, John.
Yes, but
Is it my fault she has not paid enough indulgences and her husband's rotting in purgatory?
Marjorie.
Please write, Madam, Our Lord Jesus Christ wants me to let you know that your husband is rotting in purgatory.
Madam, our Lord Jesus Christ wants me to let
And that it will be a very long time before he ascends to heaven.
There. Is that sufficient? No, will you just sign your name?
Yes. Will you show me how again?
M-A-R-G-E-R-Y.
My hand's tired. Will you write count?
There.
Thank you.
Give me your hand. Marjorie, God does not need to be spoken of every moment, for his presence to be felt. Now you swore to me that you would not speak of him, yet you talk of nothing else.
Stop touching me. I had rather see your head smit off than we should turn again to our uncleanness. You'll regret that, John. When the devil's boiling you alive in an enormous pot.
Leave those for my wife to clean up.
Certainly, sir.
Come here for a moment. Do you pity me?
Why should I, sir?
You don't then? Why don't you, come sit in my lap? Is this good?
Yes.
Are you a witch?
What?
Are you bewitching my wife? I see you sewing little things all the time. What are those little packets you're sewing? Do you have little bones in there? Do you hide little bits of animals and then cast spells and poison my wife's soul?
Those are neck clothes I'm sewing. For your son. I should look after the baby.
Will you bring me something to eat?
Certainly, sir.
Some more beer?
Were you weeping?
Yes?
I'm Jacob. Jacob the man. I followed you here. I wanted to hear you weep again. The first time I heard you wailing, I felt something. It felt like my heart was burning.
Well, that happens to me too.
No, I mean later. When I put my hand on my chest, it's actually hot to the touch. And then when I took my shirt off, there was a red mark in the shape of a heart on my chest. Has that ever happened to you?
No.
I know your weeping is a gift from him, and I've learned that I must adore him with all the strength of my being.
Oh, that's true.
Lost in a dark wood. Then, in the middle of a clearing, he saw a pear tree covered in luminous blossoms. He could not take his eyes from it all night, and in the morning he ran up and shook the branches so hard that all the blossoms fell to the ground, and then he hungrily ate every last one. After he'd eaten his fill, do you know what he did?
No.
He squatted on the ground and shit out all the flowers he had so greedily devoured.
Father!
Please, go! I'm so tired.
Figs are no good for men. They aggravate the spleen. You might want to try cucumber or fennel as a remedy.
Oh, dear God.
I've been waiting for you for over an hour.
Will you hear my confession?
What?
There's a sin that I've been carrying in my heart.
You can't confess to me. It's against the law.
No, if a priest cannot be found, then sins can be confessed to a friend. my friend, aren't you?
Yes, but how do I do it?
You just bow your head.
Don't I need a Bible?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure I
Here,
do.
use this.
Now what do I do?
You just listen.
I'm listening.
Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. Oh, forgive me, friend, for I've sinned. When I was 10 years old,
Wait, is it really horrible? I'm sorry. Of course it's not horrible. I've never known a woman as perfect as you. I'm listening.
I think I'd like to wait.
No, please, let me help you.
Will you take me out of Lynn?
What?
Father Walter wants to burn me.
I would do anything for you. I'd cut my heart out of my chest and
Oh,
serve it
I
on
know.
paper. I'll take you to a little house on the outskirts of town.
On the outskirts of
Yes.
town.
And at night I'll sneak out and get us food. And during the day we will worship him together. And I will read to you only of God, of how much he loves you, and how miraculous you are. You're tempting me. Why are you tempting me?
Forgive me.
My mother always told me the devil never comes as the devil. Usually comes in the form of a woman, especially an older woman.
Oh, you're bleeding.
I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding.
Oh, here, let me help you.
You've infected me with your mouth. I'm bleeding.
No, forgive me.
My friends all told me you were a fraud. Now I know they were right.
No, you know me.
I wonder if they'll use green wood to burn you.
No, please. Oh. All that I am and all that I possess, you have given me. I surrender it all to you. I'm sorry that I'm so weak, but I miss you. I miss your sweet face. I don't know if I can go on living in your absence. Give me only your love and I will desire nothing else. Oh, yes. Oh, please give me a sign. Oh, please tell me what I have to do.
When the human form emerged from the woman's womb, it changed color depending on the movement that soul, which was a ball of fire, made within it. And I saw how many storms assailed this human and weighed it to the ground. And I saw that as it tried to lift itself up, it said with a groan, "A stranger? Where am I? In the shadow of death. What path am I traveling? The path of error. What consolations do I have? The consolation of a pilgrim in exile." No matter how often I wash, it always reeks of flesh. Here's lavender. Put it under your nose. You'll get accustomed.
One of your windows looks into the church.
Yes, but it's a horrible view. Look, I can barely see the pulpit. Ugh, savages, giving me such a miserable view of God. I'm teasing. I'm only teasing. Sit down there. That's where Matilda used to sit. My cat. Sometimes I wake in the middle of the night and I see her there. That sounds witchy, doesn't it? Don't tell anyone I said that.
I won't.
What's your name again? Just keep dabbing it under your nose.
Marjorie, Kemp.
Now, Marjorie, when you begin to tell me your vision, I'm going to close my eyes. Do you mind? I get such painful headaches, so it was a vision of what? Christ, I suppose.
Well, yes, but it was nothing like your visions.
Oh, I don't have visions anymore. Well, sometimes I have visions of Matilda. No, I had all of them 30 years ago, and they happened in one night. Can you imagine? 16 of them in 3 hours. And I've spent the rest of my life locked in here trying to figure out what they meant.
Oh.
Can I get you something to eat before you tell me your vision?
Oh, no thank you, I'm fasting.
Let's share this pomegranate. They bring me the strangest thing from their pilgrimages, probably from some Muslim's orchard, don't you think? Check outside for a moment. Do you see a little red-haired girl?
No,
Are you sure?
I don't see anyone.
She's completely cracked. She sleeps outside my windows for days and won't accept food or water. Rebelling against her family, I suppose. Ugh, wealthy girls. Here, take this half. It's bloody, isn't it? Go ahead, eat. Fasting's all and well, but let's not indulge in every moment. Eating with me, that's holy too, I suppose. Unless I'm a witch, then you're damned. Oh, don't look like that. I'm not a witch. Why do you fast?
To relieve the suffering of sinners in purgatory.
Yes, of course, but do you have anyone in particular in mind?
My father.
Well, that's good of you, but purgatory's not hell, you know. It's just waiting. It's just remaining patient, which is, after all, what is required of us here, too. What's his name?
John Brunham.
It's so tiresome, isn't it? If only we were strictly accountable for our own sins, wouldn't that be so much easier?
Yes.
Well, I don't. I don't believe it would be easier.
Oh.
Eat.
Oh. Thank you.
No, dear. Just one seed at a time. Thank you, John Brunham, for waiting one more day that we might enjoy this pomegranate.
Oh, yes. Shall we pray?
Oh, you may pray if you like. I don't consider it a separate activity.
Excuse me.
Do you perceive him better on your back, then?
Yes.
I perceived him only in sickness. When I was young and an idiot, I prayed for God to send me a mortal illness. You've never prayed for that, have you?
No.
Good girl. I was stupid. I wanted to understand what it was to die, and by understanding that, come to know him. I was no older than that little red-haired witch. Check one more time, please. She's out there, isn't she?
No.
10 years passed, and I had forgotten I had ever asked for such a foolish thing. But then, when I was 30, God sent me the terrible sickness I had requested. He has a wonderful memory, God. I lay dying for 3 days and 3 nights, and in the darkness lurked hundreds of demons. And then, I was well, and I had 16 visions in the course of 3 hours. And that was it. It was all over.
Have you ever prayed for any more?
No, I don't want more. My mind is already too burdened thinking about those 16. The 16th itself was especially confusing. What's your name again?
Marjorie.
What was your vision, Marjorie? I'll just close my eyes and you tell me. I'm not sleeping, I just want to hear.
The night my baby was born.
You have a baby?
What? Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, boy or girl?
Boy.
Oh, I love babies. Sometimes I would hold Matilda in my arms like she was a baby. I couldn't hold her for long because cats like to be free, but I taught her the word nose, too. I would point at my nose and say, nose, nose, and then one day I said nose, and she put her paw right on my nose. Can you imagine? Anyway, go on.
The night my baby was born, I sent for a priest.
To bless your baby.
Well, yes. And because there was something serious that I needed to confess.
Oh?
But as soon as I began to speak, the priest, Father Walter, put put his hand over my mouth and said that there was no need for me to confess because I was going to hell anyway. And he ran out the door. Suddenly, the devil was sitting on my bed with his claw around my throat. And then he opened his mouth. I've seen what hell is like, and I can't go there. But then, one night, I heard a knocking on my door, and God's Son walked into my room and sat on my bed. He was wearing purple robes.
Ooh.
And he took me in the arms of his soul, and he said, "Why have you left me, child, when I never for a moment went away from you?"
Oh. It's a respectable vision.
Truly, oh, it's so simple.
Yes, well, congratulations. Have the bishop give you my certificate. Just have him put his signature below mine. Never hurts to have a second signature.
I should let you know that the devil has started visiting me again.
It's his duty to be persistent.
And that I'm almost constantly troubled with horrible temptations of flesh.
Well, temptations of the flesh, why do you think I lock myself in here? This window looks onto the church. And this window here is where I give my confession. And do you see this third window? This is the window that looks onto the world. This third window tortures me. It's a constant daily effort to love this window as little as I possibly can. Sometimes a creature will be mad enough to put its soft little arm out, and you can't imagine how difficult it is some days to not grab it and kiss it. What happened to your head?
The church ceiling fell on me while I was praying.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you're so serious.
Then I walked here all the way from Lynn.
By yourself?
Yes.
Good girl. Why?
They want to burn me.
They want to burn everyone now. Across the river there, they've started burning. Oh, I can smell it at night. The smoke, it seeps through the cracks and never mind. I'm letting that thought go for now. I say hello to the thought of an idea and then I just let it go. Goodbye. Oh, don't worry. They'll respect me. They won't burn you now. I don't know why they respect me, but actually, I'm being modest. My book. Do you know my book?
Oh, yes. I have it right here.
Oh, well, I should sign it for you and you should be going. To Marjorie, you are a vision. It was wonderful to meet you.
Would you hear my confession?
Oh, I'm sorry. It could inflame my passions. Too much excitement, you understand. Sometimes I think the confession was invented just to give the priests a little taste of life. Oh, no, don't cry. Oh, don't cry. Here, come sit next to me. Do you know how to meditate?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pet your hair like this, like your mother used to. Did your mother used to do this?
Yes.
Are you meditating?
Yes. Good. Now think of your mother's face. Think of the face you knew as a little baby. Do you see her eyes? Do you see how tenderly they look at you? Do you see how she wishes no harm to ever come to you? Do you see that her gaze is actually a world, an entire world of its own in which you are enfolded and embraced? Do you see her face?
Yes.
Now I'll tell you a secret. I don't believe in hell. I've tried for many years, but have finally set aside the belief. And what is it that scares you really about this hell? The fires, the hot pokers, the animals chewing at our human flesh? No. No, sin itself is what is so terrifying. If you had to choose between all of the pains of hell and sin, I promise you, you would rather choose all pain over sin. Do you know what sin is?
The evil that we do?
No, that's so tiny, the evil that we do. It's as little as we are. True sin is the terrible distance between ourselves and God. There is no harder hell than this. Do you still see your mother's face?
Yes.
Try and remember that face when you are thinking of God. Oh, she's back. No, we'll let her knock. We'll let her knock, and then we'll open up the door and we will let her in.
You to burn up all my enemies in a fire, but please show them forgiveness. I can almost see you now. I can almost see your sweet face. Please have mercy on my child. My child.
Look, your mother's home. No, shh. No, don't cry. He's just frightened by the fire.
May I hold him?
Yes, like this.
Oh, he smells so sweet. I didn't know they smelled like this. Am I hurting him?
Just rest him against your body. I was so worried about you.
I walked all the way to Norwich. I got my certificate. I'm not a heretic.
I heard.
Now I can weep as loudly as I want. He's heavy.
He's a little man already. Well, we're gonna have to camp out here until morning.
Did Father Thomas?
He took his mother to Leicester.
Oh, thank God. Hello. Hello. He doesn't like me.
Well, he doesn't know you yet.
Oh, I felt something on my cheek. Is that rain?
I didn't feel anything. It's cold out here. Let me hold on to you. Wait, I did feel something on my cheek.
It's snowing.
It's snowing.
It's snowing. Hello, you fat little creature. I am your mother. Oh, he's laughing at me. Oh.
I can't believe you walked to Norwich all by yourself.
Well, I hired a beggar to carry my bag, but he didn't like my praying and quit after the first hour. Why did Father Thomas take his mother to Leicester?
They found an English Bible in his house.
Will they burn him?
Unless he can find a way out of England in time. Marjorie?
I'm cold. Let's walk a little toward the fire.
All right.
I can't endure it. When I think of his suffering, how will I endure it?
Let me hold on to you.
Marjorie?
Is that you? I hear your voice. I hear it. Marjorie! Oh, look there. Is that her? Oh, yes. I can tell by her funny little walk. Oh, I could look at her forever. She's a miracle.